Hello, friends. So back in June, I taught sort of at a beautiful festival called Moon Bloom, and I wanted to take some time to write down some reflections about it because the emotions I felt about the experience were complex and difficult to put in words. So, as always, after I write something, I try to create a little bit of a video so that I can fully express myself through talking. Um, so, I want it to be known how grateful I am for the opportunity. But, like I said, the emotions I feel over this are complex. So the best word I can use for emotion number one, disappointment. I loved this festival. It was beautiful. I loved that it was not corporate and there weren't a lot of rigid rules. That said, there were moments where it felt chaotic and a little disorganized, and I felt like some flakiness was present for like things that were on the schedule that I wanted to attend, where like the teacher just didn't show up. And there was no announcement about this thing is no longer happening, right? Because stuff happens, I get that. I think I'm just wired where, for the most part, pretty much always, if I make a commitment, I'm going to be there. So, yeah, I experience disappointment when others don't show up in the same way. And then I also wrote about a little bit of sadness, right? Like there are times when I'm in an environment like this and I ask myself, have I aged out? No, I have no plans on stopping going to music festivals. I love music festivals. I love to dance. I love to get my feet dirty. I love to flow with it. But I think where I'm different, and maybe I've got this wrong as someone who's trying to get my work out into the world, but it just feels like everything is performative. Everything is done for show, done for Instagram, and it just makes me feel really happy that when I started going to festivals in the 90s, there was no documentation and we were able to be fully present and allow the performers to perform, right? We didn't have to perform. In fact, it's really good that there's little to no documentation of these days. That's a story for another day. All that said, I am proud of myself. The class I taught was at 8:30 on a Saturday morning. Probably not the ideal time for a music festival, but for what it was actually really beautiful to be offering this first thing in the morning when it was quiet. It ended up being more of a conversation with two people, which I'll take it, right? Would I have loved to have a huge audience of 40, 50 people? Sure. But I'm not all that well known at this point, and I was able to shift and adapt for my audience of two people, and my hope is that I shared something of value and that I had an impact in a positive way. So I'm really proud. I never, ever imagined that I would be teaching at a music festival. And again, I'm also just so grateful. The organizers of this took a chance on me. Again, I don't have a huge following. I'm not some mega influencer, but they took a chance. They gave me a speaking slot, and I would love to do more of this because sometimes when I go to events like this, I feel like I receive so much. And it's really lovely to be in a place to give back. So if you want more, you can read the blog post at jenjortnercassidy.com. And if you like what I have to say, I would love for you to visit my website and learn more about what I do. And of course, subscribe here for more and to support my work. That's all I got for now.